Working our way down, it's finally time for the RTX 3050 in Cyberpunk's DLC, Phantom Liberty. And to start it off, we're playing the game at 1080p at the lowest settings. Here we are with that. There we go. Alright, here we go, guys. Hey, not too bad. 80 FPS to begin with. That is actually a decent start. Now, if I was going to guess, this will fall down into the 60s. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What? What is she doing? Nice. The graphics aren't great, if I'm being fair, but the FPS is quite decent so far. So, we'll see how we go. I'm guessing once we get to the roundabout, which is very intensive, the FPS will fall down into the 60s. At the roundabout, we're going to be sitting in the mid-60s. Ooh, bad driving. What? I'm stuck. Are you kidding me? How have I managed this? So yeah, it's not too bad. We can hold 60 FPS at all times at the lowest settings. Again, the graphics aren't great, but if you don't want to use DLSS or FSR, then I guess you can use the lowest settings and still get 60 FPS. Okay, let's go up to the medium settings now. Try again. Alright, here we are, the medium preset. There we go. Here we go. What are we getting? Okay, 60 FPS. We lost like 30 FPS from the lowest settings up to medium, but it's not too bad. This will fall down, I think, below 50 at the roundabout, but should be quite decent still. Alright, looking at the graphics, looks much better, but once we get down to the main city, we get to see the reflections and the lighting much better. So far so good though, guys. In the 50s, it's feeling quite smooth. Can't really feel any stutters, any lag spikes. It's pretty decent. Wow, the 40s now. Yeah. As soon as it fell into the 40s, I did feel a bit of stuttering happening, but it's stabilizing. At the roundabout, it's the mid 40s still. Yeah. On keyboard and mouse, the mid 40s aren't really great. It does feel kind of laggy, but on controller, should feel quite good. Yeah, I think our lowest was around 44. It's definitely playable, but ideally I would avoid using keyboard and mouse for this one. Alright, luckily we have DLSS, which hopefully can give us 60 FPS at the medium preset. Alright, quality DLSS. Wow, the 80s now. That is fantastic. Let's keep driving though. See if it does fall below 60 FPS in this section. It's getting close. But no, we can't hold 60 FPS in this section, which is fantastic. And looking at the graphics, it's very close to native 1080p. It does look softer in some areas, but I think overall, it's really good for how much you're getting back in terms of performance. So yeah, I think for me personally, I would rather play the game at the medium settings with DLSS than play at the lowest settings and get similar performance but have worse looking graphics. Alright, let's back out, enable RT at the medium preset and see what this card can do. Alright, medium RT without DLSS, we are sitting at 20 FPS. Wow, that is quite a hit to our performance. Let's call in the bike this time and see how it drives. Where's the bike? There we go. It's feeling very laggy, guys. I mean, obviously, it's getting 20 FPS. And if I was going to guess, I would say it's going to fall down to 12 FPS at the roundabout. Could be lower as well, to be honest. I'm not sure. VRAM's getting quite up there as well at 7 gigs. This card only has 8. So VRAM might be an issue as well at some point. Yeah, sitting at 16 to 17 FPS now. Very choppy. But I think with DLSS, we can target 30 FPS and have a decent time playing this game. Ideally, for this kind of card, I would avoid using RT, but if you like how it looks and you're cool with 30 FPS, then it might be doable. Yeah, I think our lowest was around 15 FPS. It's pretty poor, obviously, but let's go ahead and back out, enable DLSS, and try again. Alright, balanced DLSS. We're now in the 40s. It's the low to mid 40s. Quite fantastic, but the graphics aren't looking great, to be honest. It does look a lot softer than before. And personally, I'm not a big fan of it. But if you like how it looks, then obviously it's a viable choice for you. Roundabout, we're falling down into the 30s. But it's the high to mid 30s. Okay, that's the medium settings. Let's back out. Go up to the high settings and go again. The high preset. Here we are with that. There we go. It's not too far apart from the medium settings, to be honest. It's very close to it. I think we had around 60 FPS at the medium settings. And now we're sitting in the high 40s and the low 50s. So yeah. A slight decrease. So maybe at this point, we can get a mostly 60 FPS experience with DLSS at the high preset, which would be amazing. Roundabout, we're falling down to the 30s. Wow. That is kind of insane. But again, 30 FPS isn't too bad. It's definitely still playable. But on keyboard and mouse, it will be very annoying and it won't be that great. On controller though, it will be decent. Alright, now using balanced DLSS, we are sitting in the low 60s and up into the low 70s. Again, I'm not a big fan of the graphics, but FPS wise, it is quite decent still. It does sit in the 60s, but at the same time, it can fall down into the mid 50s in those heavier scenes, like you can see right here. Alright guys, medium RT, no DLSS at the high settings. VRAM's at 7.5 gigs again. FPS, honestly, in the 20s still. Huh. So I'm guessing with DLSS, we can get 30 FPS with RT enabled, which would be quite insane. How far will it drop? Holding 15 FPS the entire way through. Oh, it's getting worse. 10 FPS now. Ooh. It's getting way worse. Look at that. 9 FPS. It's a slideshow, guys. It is a slideshow. It was decent before, but now it's honestly pretty trash. Alright, performance DLSS. Mid-20s slash the low 30s. Sadly, this is not playable as it is right now. Away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me, cops. I only killed 2 people, okay? Leave me alone. Sitting in the mid to high 30s now, on the way back to the roundabout. But the FPS should fall quite heavily into the 20s again, and it does. There we go. So yeah, I think for this card, if you do want to use RT, stay on the medium preset, and yeah, it's definitely a much better time. Playing at the ultra settings. Here we are with that. Okay, 40 FPS so far. So this should fall into the 30s at the roundabout. Wow, already down into the 30s. That is not a good sign. Lowest was around 31. This will for sure fall into the 20s at the roundabout. Here we go. Oh, it's so laggy. Very stuttery and very choppy. It wasn't too bad. It fell into the high 20s, like around 28 FPS. But the stuttering was just far too annoying, to be honest. So, yeah, I guess it's playable, but it's not a great experience. Alright, performance DLSS. We're now sitting in the 60s in this area, but the FPS will quickly fall down into the 50s and 40s. Game's not stuttering, surprisingly. That is quite good, to be honest. I'm surprised again. Hey, I guess if you like the look, it's doable for you in this card. But again, I don't think it's worth losing all the clarity and the sharpness for the ultra preset. I think for this card, it's much better to play at the medium settings or a mix of medium and high, have better performance, and in general, just have better graphics. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.